Subscribe now and press the bell icon.
Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to study about the non-aligned movement, which is very important topic is there from the point of view of your exam. Non-aligned movement. Children, after 1950 there was a increase in military power was there, especially the two antagonistic camps were created. One is USA, another was USSR, and they wanted to have supremacy over three things. That is, what they wanted to have supremacy over the military. Second thing, they wanted to have the supremacy over the ideology, their own ideology, and they wanted to have supremacy over the economy. So these are the three areas where they wanted to have influence over, and they wanted to create supremacy in these particular three areas. And these two antagonistic camps were there all over the world 1950, after 1950, that is USA and USSR. But there were some other countries were there, like Asian countries were there, African countries were there, and Latin American countries were there. These countries did not have space in both the conflict, that is a conflict between USA and USSR, and the problems of these countries, which were newly independent countries, were there. So they had different problems. So none of their issue was going to discuss in these particular two conflict that was between US and USSR, and therefore they wanted to create one group or one movement. They were started. That movement is known as a non-aligned movement. Non-aligned means not to join either of the bloc. Either of the bloc in the sense USA and USSR, they don't want to join either of the bloc, but they want to create their one bloc they want to create, and that is non-aligned bloc they wanted to create. Who wanted to create non-aligned bloc? The people of Asia, Latin America and some of the African countries, they wanted to create that particular bloc because they had different problems. What were the problems of these countries? So these countries' problem were poverty, disease, inequality was there, colonialism was there, and all these problems were not discussed in these two blocs. Just now I told you about US and USSR. Their problems are not going to be discussed there, and therefore they wanted to create a new bloc. So that is known as a non-aligned movement. They don't want to align, they don't want to join with the other movements, so other bloc, which were the US and USSR. So here, therefore, what happened, the leaders, all those leaders of the newly independent nations, they were insecure. Their countries were insecure, and there was a tense situation was there. Why there was a tense situation was there? Because US and USSR, they wanted to create influence over the other countries. They were attracting other countries toward them, and it may create a problem in future. So there was a problem was there, and therefore there was insecurity was there, and the situation was very much tense. So therefore all those countries, some countries like we can say India, then we can say Yugoslavia, then other countries, Egypt. So all those countries, they came together to form one new bloc. So in 1955 there was a conference was held at Bandung in Indonesia. So who were there? Presented there. So 29 nations were there, and this particular conference we can call it as a Asia-African conference, because there were some Asian countries and African countries were also involved into that. And here the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was we can say he was a main person or the chairman of that particular conference. So there was another people were there. Gamal Abdul Nasser was there of Egypt. So Egypt is, you know very well, it is African country. Then Joseph Broz Tito, Yugoslavia. It is one of the Asian country. Then second thing, there was a other people were also there, like the Kenya. The people was people of Kenya. That is Kwame Nkrumah was one person was there with that. Sukarno was there of Indonesia was there. So all these people, they came together and they form one conference. So we call it as a non-aligned, and from that their conference paved the way for the non-aligned movement. So there it was decided that such type of movement should be started. Okay, so this is the birth of the non-aligned movement was started at that particular conference, which we call it as which was held at the Bandung in Indonesia in 1955. So here this is there. Then after that there was a, after this conference was held and this particular non-aligned movement was started, so there was a this particular, what were the aims we can say. So what are the aims were there of these particular non-aligned movement, that they want to promote, the main aim of that the non-aligned movement is there to promote cultural and economic cooperation among the newly independent countries of Asia was one of the main aim of these non-aligned movement. Okay, what is the main aim? That is to promote the cultural and economic cooperation. Okay, and therefore this particular non-alignment was established, and it was an international organization. Again I repeat, what is the aim? Aim is to promote cultural and economic cooperation between these countries. Which are the countries? Asian countries, African countries, and Latin American countries. Now after that conference, first summit was held. Summit means just like a meeting which was held at Belgrade in Yugoslavia in September 1961, and it was attended by the 25 member countries. By 2012 the membership has grown to 120 countries with 17 observers in that. So there were some concerns were there, of these three concerns are there of these particular summit. So concerns means they are going to see, they are going to look after these particular things, their aims we can say. So how they are going to do that? So the first concern was cooperation among the member of the nation of NAM, that is NAM, and most of them had newly emerged as a free countries. So first thing is a cooperation, that they should cooperate with each other. It may be a cultural cooperation or economic cooperation, any cooperation it will be. So that is, they want to cooperate with each other, the first thing. Then there was a one more second concern was their growing Cold War tension and its impact on the world at large. Growing Cold War tension. So Cold War tension was growing. Why Cold War tension was growing? Because just now I told you about the proxy war. In proxy war, I told you that these countries, US and USSR, they were supporting the countries who were fighting for the independence. So here there was a Cold War tension was, this is the Cold War tension was there. So, and they wanted to bring more and more countries under their influence. So this was a Cold War tension was there, and its impact. So about that they are going to see, about that they are going to fight in this particular. That is also one of the second concern of that. And the second is to prevent any of the newly decolonized independent countries from joining any of the military bloc. Any of the military bloc in the sense USA and USSR. To prevent them is not allowing them to join USA and USSR. So these are the three concerns are there. The first concern is, we have seen that the cooperation among the member nations. Second thing, Cold War tension and its impact on the world. And the third one is to prevent any of the newly independent countries, those who have got recently, they got recently means not now, during that period, those who have got the independence, so they should not join either of the blocks. So that is the three concerns were there. So here this NAM, now let us look into the how this NAM was successful. So the first success of that, when the two nations they fell apart from each other, okay, and they were pulling the countries toward themselves. So at that time, the newly countries, especially the India, they helped, NAM helped them to take the independent position. NAM helped them to take the independent position because of the when these two nations were fighting and they were trying to bring superpower, they were fell apart from each other and they were trying to control other countries, but India was independent. Why? Because it was a member of the NAM. So therefore this is first benefit was there. Then the second benefit we can see that newly emerging countries, they help, these NAM help them to bargain for the space and assistance from the superpower. So newly emerging countries, they got the space and assistance from the superpower because of the non-aligned movement. Then there is some tension, to ease the tension. Ease the tension means to reduce the tension, which was there among the NAM countries. So this non-aligned movement helped the countries to ease their tension. So in these three ways, in these three areas, the NAM was successful. The first area was there that it helped some countries like India to take independent position. Second, we can say that it gave a bargain for the space and assistance from the superpower. And the third one, we can say that it helped them to ease the tension among the NAM countries. So these are there. Now one more thing about this NAM was there. Both the superpower, that is US and USSR, were looking at NAM with suspicion. Suspicion means doubt, and the USA was having more doubt on India, on USSR, that India is more favorable. USSR, India is more favorable toward the USSR. So why they were saying like that? Because there was one problem was there, that Afghanistan problem was there. So here the USSR invaded Afghanistan and India did not do, NAM did not do anything about that. So the USA started feeling that there is a more favoritism is there in this particular region. So here NAM, now another weakness we can see, that first is suspicion was there, and second weakness of NAM was they could not stop their own member from waging the war. You know that there is a Iran and Iraq war was there. Even though there was a NAM was there, so these Iran and Iraq were the member of non-aligned movement. So the NAM, they would have stopped the war between Iran and Iraq, but they could not do so. So this is what the limitations were there, or this is where the weaknesses were there. But we have discussed about the three the advantages of this NAM also. Okay, so here some limitations were there, but here despite this limitation, the NAM helped the newly independent nation assert their autonomy in the international affairs when the world was torn between the two superpowers. One was torn between the two superpowers, USA and USSR. So in that situation also, the NAM helped the newly independent countries to assert their autonomy. Assert their autonomy means to give more importance to their autonomy. So they help them to give the autonomy to these countries. So that is the Naam movement. I hope you understood this.